These are my Zeus steering wheels, and they are the new flagship sim racing wheels from Simagic. I've got the Sport, I've got the GT, and these have been a long-awaited product. I've been excited to review these. It's been a controversial launch, so I'll talk about what that controversy was, how Simagic resolved it, but I'm also going to talk about the excellent materials, some innovative features of these wheels, as well as some impressive pricing. So are the new flagship wheels from Simagic worth the wait, worth the hype? Let's find out in my review. All right, so as mentioned, these are my new Zeus steering wheels. And I will tell you just off the start, these were sent to me free of charge from Simagic. No money changed hands. I don't offer affiliate links. And of course, the words and opinions are my own. So what do we have here? We have the GT wheel, which I'll get unboxed in a second, along with the Sport wheel. This one, I don't know if you'll be able to see this. Oh yeah, of course you can see it on the front, but it contains a round wheel, and this one more of a GT style wheel. And you'll notice they both have screens, and that's actually where the controversy came from. So they have screens optionally mounted to them. And for those not familiar with the Zeus line, you may be confused. Do they have a screen or do they not? I will show you how that works in a moment. But these are long awaited. We saw these a long time ago. They were slow bringing it to market. I thought I would get it at the same time I got my Alpha Evo Ultra wheelbase, which I've been using for the past several months and absolutely love. But it didn't come to market at that same time. But it's here now and priced to sell, I would say. It's very tough to give an exact price of what it is. I'll flash something on the screen and leave a link in the description to find out. It depends on how you option it. It's hard to say that this exact wheel is this price, this exact wheel is that price, because it depends on the wheel you get. It depends if you get it with the screen or without the screen, etc., etc. So lots to cover here. Let's go ahead and get into it. So we'll start with the GT wheel. And as you can see, good size to it. They went with orange coloring. And that has been kind of the first controversy that has followed Simagic in some of their most recent products. Because of course, orange and black is kind of the domain, not by patent, but just kind of by brand recognition of Simucube, you know, arguably the leader in the sim racing hardware space. So Simagic possibly taking aim at them. I don't know. They used to be red and black as opposed to orange and black, and I think they should have stuck with it. But all the same, these are orange. So this GT wheel has 5 buttons per side. It's got the 7-way, I think funky switch is a Fanatec term, but anyway, 7-way switch here and dial, and then the 3 rotary encoders at the bottom. We've got carbon fiber down there, and it's woven in with the orange, which is cool, and then leather wrapped around the outside and nicely stitched. Round back, we've got the very excellent Simagic quick release here, the wireless quick release. Just snap this onto your Simagic wheel and you're good to go. Wheelbase rather, and you're good to go. Got the paddle, analog paddles back here for your clutch, and then of course paddle shifters. This does come standard. The one I got came standard with plastic paddles, but I got a push-pull shift kit, and that's what I installed on this. Now, let's talk about the controversy. So you'll notice the one on the box has a screen and this one does not. So let's see how that works exactly. So Simagic decided to make it modular, and it gives you different purchase options for the wheel as well. Sorry, it's not this difficult. There we go. Just trying to do it with one hand is difficult. So it has a piece that snaps out, and this is where your screen goes. Sorry, there's magnets and it's causing me some concerns. So your screen snaps in there, and there's one more piece that goes back there to hold it in place. So now you have a wheel with a screen. Pretty cool. It's solid as a rock. You can do whatever you want with this and no concerns. So why was this controversial? Because of this. So in order to get this screen working, you need the Air Link. So this is separate. It attaches to your computer via USB-C and then wirelessly connects to the screen. It's a cool technology. The problem is it's not included, or it wasn't included in the bundles. So when they first launched this and people figured out they had to buy this separately, it's kind of like, well, what are you doing? Give me everything I need to get this working, please. So Simagic heard the feedback from the sim racing community and did start including these. If you order this now with a Magic Dash, you will get the AirLink included in your bundle. And yeah, so they've done right in the end, but it was kind of a controversial launch because of course people wanted to be able to use this screen. And if you bought the box that included the screen, you'd think the screen would work, but originally it didn't. But now we have the AirLink. It's still not, in my mind, a complete solution. I wish you didn't have to use the AirLink at all. I wish it could just work through the wheel. By the way, this can come off and go onto your, pardon me, this can go onto your Alpha wheelbase. And there you go. Now you can have the steering wheel on there with this mounted to your wheelbase. So very cool. But either way, you need the AirLink. So kind of unfortunate, but that's how it launched originally. And now at least the AirLink is included, but you still need the AirLink. So it's not perfect, but it's very, very cool. So yeah, I love the idea. I love the concept of the modular screen. I'm not somebody that thinks necessarily everyone needs a screen or that the high-end wheels even need a screen. But I think they've done a nice job with this. And yeah, very cool how they put it together. Oops, let's see, it kind of flops around until you put this little guy on, which is just basically a collection of magnets and plastic. And now it stays on there. Whoops, there we go, now it stays on there. So yeah, very cool. Absolutely wonderful build quality. It's heavy, it's rigid, nice leather here, nice stitching, well put together. Yeah, and there are different connection options too. You can attach this not only to your Alpha Evo series wheelbase, but to Alpha wheelbases and even third-party wheelbases. How? Well, you need this MagLink Pro, or maybe this Mag Dock. Somewhat confusing, but maybe Simagic could just tell you better themselves.
Think Zeus wheel setup is complicated? It's actually not. If you're on an Evo base, just go AirLink. All wireless, all good. No dash needed, wheel plus Evo base, and you're done. Not on an Evo, go for Magic Link Pro. Wired, clean, sorted. For Alpha users, Extend supports multiple wheels. Single screen, MagDock handles it. Here's the short version. No dash, connect direct to Evo. Got a dash? Use AirLink. Not on Evo, MagLink Pro Hub is the key. That's it. Easy.
All right, so taking a look now at the Sport, and this one came with a round wheel. There are different purchase options, which again is why I didn't want to get into exactly how much this wheel costs, because you can get this. They were even kind enough to send me, actually. What's this one? They sent me a D-shaped wheel and another D-shaped wheel. Huh. Okay, one is suede, one is leather. Yeah, one is suede, one is leather. So anyway, D-shaped, there's a bunch of different options. I'll leave links to find out more. Yeah, but this is the Sport, and it's very similar in many ways to the GT. Just a bit different at the bottom here. This one has thumb encoders, which this one should, in my opinion, but it doesn't. 2 rotary encoders instead of 3, and then 4 buttons per side instead of 5. Yeah, and then the 7-way switches here, no buttons on back, and yeah, I guess that's about it. But yeah, so very similar, and again, you have different wheel options as well to get something that'll work for you. And same thing here, this plastic piece is just held on by magnets. You can slap a screen on there if you want. And both, I didn't mention this before, but both have a tachometer bar across the top there, even without the screen attached. So this one has perforated leather where your hands will rest at 3 and 9, and then suede across the top there, and the orange bar here, and orange stitching across the bottom, again leaning into that new sort of orange theme of Simagic. So very nice wheels, lots of great features, magnetic shifters of course on both. These are the plastic shifters that came standard before I put in the push-pull kit, and you've got the clutch paddles there as well. So not any features other than thumb encoders on here, not really any features I can think of that are missing. These are well equipped, and for that kind of $500 price point, depending on how you option it, yeah, these seem to go a long way. So yeah. Next thing, we'll jump into the software and show you customization options for your Zeus series wheels. And then, of course, we'll test it on track, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about the good, neutral, and bad of these Zeus series wheels from Simagic. All right, so starting things out here in SimPro Manager version 3, as you can see, my Zeus GT wheel is registered here. So if we open that up and press some buttons, we can see it coming through, which is great. And just flip it around to the back here. We should be able to see our paddles. Good. A little miscalibration there on the left paddle, so let's try it. Did that do it? Should go to 100 now. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and it's flipping back to the front because I'm sure a lot of you will be wanting to do button customization. Good news about that. So let's say that we wanted these two buttons to be white. The static effect, we can change that, change the color to white. And there we go. So now we have a white button both in life and in the software here. As you can see, I have a pit limiter effect, and what that does, actually, I'll just delete that. So we can just add effects, and then I'm going to add pit limiter or is in pit, whichever. I'll go for pit limiter again. And then when I go to say what it does, I want that to blink red at, let's say, 350 millisecond intervals. X out of there, and let's see if it demos. There we go. You can see it blinking red. So now when my pit limiter is on in Sim, it will blink red. Pretty cool. So we can do that for all our buttons. We also have these, of course, rotary encoders. If I click that, and let's say I want that one to be a different shade of blue. How about bridesmaid seafoam? And if you're thinking to yourself, boy, that's annoying, you have to change all these one by one. No, you just click and drag, highlight them all, choose the color you want, and we good. And again, you can choose the blink effect, or you can choose always on, and then it is reflected in life. So pretty cool there. So yeah, I really like using the SimPro Manager for setting up the wheels. I actually prefer it over SimHub. We'll show SimHub in a second, but we're all good there. And then the 7-way funky switches, as you can see, is all registering well. So flipping over to the screen here, let's clear all these. So right now we have nothing. There's a SimHub option there. You can even use this as a mouse if you want. Let's try that. Let's see, yeah, there, see, I can use it as a mouse. And then let's say I want the Porsche 992 now it's added. Let's say I want this one. I could just use my real mouse. You guys get the point. And say I want rally and then a formula. So now, when I go back to my SimHub dashes here, hopefully that's coming through on the screen, I can choose from any of those. If I don't like that, I can choose a different one. So very cool. And yeah, it's touchscreen. It all works well. One more thing I did want to show you, the LEDs. There's 15 LEDs across the top. That's usually your tachometer bar. And as you can see, I have them set here. So this is based on the Ferrari 296 GT3. So when I reach 7,000 RPM, the first two lights come on. 7,100 RPM, the next two green ones come on. Then we switch to yellow at 7,200. And so as your revs build, it changes. And then there's an RPM red line setting here. So what happens? Well, they all go red at 7,600 RPM. That's to match the 296 in Assetto Corsa from Race Sim Studio. So yeah, pretty cool that we can do that. I can show you the advanced tab. I don't have much use for this, but you can actually make this custom per gear. So if you want the gears to act different, to have different LED readouts, you can do so. I don't see the point of it. I usually keep it at default to match kind of real life. If we go under the other effects tab here, pit limiter. So this pit limiter is going to glow white, or blink white actually, at 300 millisecond intervals. We can just test that out here. So you can see it there. That's what we're going to see when we have the pit limiter enabled. And we can do the same thing for the outside ones. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of different effects here. So right now I have it that on yellow flag, this is what I'm going to see, solid yellow. But if I'm in the pits, which is this guy, we can have it blink white, same as the top row, or any other color we want. If I want to disable that yellow flag and instead enable checkered flag, we can do that. And what's this effect? All right, black and white, that makes sense. So that is SimPro Manager, and setting up the Zeus GT. The Zeus Sport would be very similar, of course, so it's an excellent piece of software. But let's quickly have a look at SimHub. All right, so here we are in SimHub. I'm running version 9.11.14 B5 Simagic. It's a beta version created specifically for this review, so some features aren't quite working yet. But if we go under devices, as you can see, our Zeus GT wheel and our Magic Dash are both shown. I have this disabled. I can enable it, and hopefully it'll find it. Let's see, should show the Ford Mustang. There we go. Okay, so we have the Ford Mustang dash. I'm still a massive fan of the lovely dashboard. There we go. So if I choose lovely dashboard, the lovely Sim Racing 604 entry screen comes on, so we can customize all that, but I won't get into that. So anyway, you can set whatever dash you want to be active here. And then we can go into LEDs and create a profile. I'm not going to get into it, but it's the same thing. So you can see there's kind of 3 low here, 3 low there. Those are, of course, the side LEDs. And then we got, I think it's 15 across the top here that we can customize. If we expand this down, you can see the effects that are set right now. So all blue. So I would have to do some customization here in SimHub, but pretty cool that it integrates natively. I like the idea of having both SimHub and the SimPro, because SimHub obviously dominates the market. We all know and love it. The problem is, I don't think they would do this, but if SimHub became outrageously expensive and you know, a monthly subscription or a yearly subscription or something like that, and we just decided, you know what, like, it's not in the budget right now, we still have SimPro to use. So good to have both, right? So yeah, very cool. Full integration with SimHub, but also SimPro works well. In fact, perhaps a little bit better. I prefer the SimPro, but you can use what works for you. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into Sim, do some driving. All right, so sat here in the pits on board the 296 GT3, and we've got lights matching on the screen in the game and on the screen in reality. So something you'll notice is the 296, their dash is fixed. It's not moving with the wheel. So guess what? I want to move this over to my wheelbase, and it's as easy as that. And let's give it a sec. It's booting up here. Should be in business very, very soon. Looks like it's got its link. Let's see if it comes up. Come on, girl. I believe in you. There we go. Sweet. So we are away. So that's how fast it is. And then as soon as we leave the pits, you should see those flashing white lights turn to a tachometer bar. How cool is that? So, oops, and I forgot to put my handy dandy Simagic snap-in cosmetic bar, patent pending on that name, into place. And I don't think I set up LEDs, so my LEDs are strictly on the dash. They're not across the top of the wheel. I would have to set that up. They're kind of there, but not really. So, impressions of driving with the GT. Excellent. Excellent. It's got a great weight to it. It feels professional. Even when you're not driving like a professional. The wheel itself feels really good. Perfect ergonomics. I love the feel of it. The paddles are well within reach. I think I extended them. Yeah, I did. So I just moved it out. There's there's slots instead of screw holes. So you can adjust the position of the paddles a little bit. And I pretty much got it where I like it. And yeah, just perfect ergonomics. It feels rigid. There's no flex in this wheel whatsoever. The quick release works like a trick. Like a charm, I should say. I don't know why I said like a trick. Works like a charm. Everything's perfect. And the dash display working perfect. So, absolutely love the wheel. Love the feel of it. I don't know why I'm driving so poorly. I apologize. Just thinking about the wheel and its ergonomics. One of the hardest things to review, believe it or not, is a wheel. Reason being is you're trying to describe nothing more than a wheel. I would love to tell you what the force feedback fidelity is like and how, you know, the brake feel is with this pedal, but it's not that. It's just a wheel. It just has to go around. So all I can tell you is it feels comfortable on the hands. The leather is nice and soft. The surface is nice and soft, but it doesn't have much give. So it's just how I like it. Might be a bit too firm for some people, but for me, it's just been spot on perfect. And yeah, I just really love this wheel. Definitely could have used some thumb encoders if they could have squeezed them in right in between the top 3 buttons on either side. That would have been welcome for sure. But otherwise, I mean, I don't really have much critical to say about this wheel. It's just been perfect for me. I've had lots of time to drive with it and really gotten used to it, and just feels tremendous. 720S into the pits. Let's see if I can advance from 19th. All right, move from 19th all the way up to 17th. Let's do one more lap here. But yeah, just really nice work here from Simagic. I just absolutely love the feel of this wheel. It's so high quality, great weight to it. I guess one thing to note is that with a wheel this heavy, you do need a decent wheel. If you're using a very light force feedback wheel, you know, this can be meant to snap onto third-party wheelbases. And if you do have a weaker wheelbase, like probably under 5 Newton meters, the wheelbase is going to have to work pretty hard to turn a wheel like this. So you may run into issues. Probably not, but you could. It's nice to have the overhead of a more powerful wheel like the Evo Ultra? Yes, Ultra that I have. Just has tons of power, so it doesn't even feel a wheel like this. But it is a pretty considerable weight for something lightweight, as I said. If you got under 5 Newton meters of torque, might run into issues. But yeah, thankfully for me, I've got lots of overhead, and it just feels absolutely phenomenal to drive with. We're going to jump over pretty soon and try out the Sport, but the GT, just excellent. All right, final go here. Can I pull myself out of 17th position? 18th now. There we go, up into the top 6. All right, so wonderful feeling wheel. And by the way, no delay on the telemetry. The telemetry is exactly, I can just, maybe you can see it, maybe you can't, but when I shift, it's perfectly in sync. Even though it's a wireless connection, it's perfectly in sync with what we're seeing on screen. So really nice job. All right, so time now to try out the Zeus Sport. So I've got this round wheel, so might as well do some rally style racing. We're in Automobilista 2, running rallycross, getting smacked into a wall here, but looks like we might be able to scoop first place here. So initial thoughts on the Zeus Sport, tremendous. Love the feel of this. The suede has a nice feel. I like actually One thing that's kind of cool about having the two types of finish on this, the suede and the leather, is it's an additional point of data for knowing where your hands are positioned on the wheel. So if I let the car kind of self-correct like I'm doing here, when my hand senses that it's back to the perforated leather, yeah, I know, wow, I'm back to, whoa, this is bad. Whoop. Invalidating my lap. Are we alive? Yes, we are alive. Okay, but yeah, it's just, again, one more additional data point. I mean, most of us can tell once we're experienced, but just that little bit of extra data to help you kind of understand what's going on. I mean, the display also nice and bright, an easy reference point there. I can't always see the numbers on my dash, but in game, I mean, but when I have it there on my Magic Dash, all good in the hood. So yeah, just a really nice wheel, and not unlike the GT, it's got really good weight to it. Let's go. There we are. Yeah, really nice weight to it. So very realistic, very immersive feel. Whoops, I almost skipped into that wall again, and I may yet. Ooh, come on, Mike. On a bit of a tough race here. Haven't run Rallycross in a very long time. Oh boy, just saw the brake lights there. Thankfully, seeing that a little bit sideways here. Come on, get around there. Door to door wheel banging here with the V-dub. Come on, boys. Beating them in the sprint race here. And yeah, even the very simple rally dash here, just that number, super helpful. I like it. I'm not always a fan of screens in sim racing. I think they're kind of overhyped. Like, you don't get a high-end wheel these days, or many high-end wheels without a screen. But it's like, what are you doing better than the heads-up display? But in cases like this, I kind of get it. Like right now, the way my view is, I can't see which gear I'm in. Brutal. There we are. So it just makes it that much easier. I could fix it with, you know, a proper field of view, but who has time for that, right? No, I'm kidding. But yeah, it's just nice to have it there central and know exactly what I've done. Did I do my Joker lap, by the way? I can't recall. Or I think I said what I've done, but it actually meant what gear I have selected. All right, probably not much point to drag this on much longer. It feels really nice. Even these plastic paddle shifters feel fine. If I wanted to, I've got these thumb encoders here. And yeah, so just, yeah, I did do my Joker lap. So yeah, just a really nice feeling wheel, and bonus points for having the dash. Uh-oh, that's a problem. DQ'd. Alright, let's get back to the table before this gets worse. Alright, so time to wrap things up here, and we'll do the good, neutral, and bad. Things I like, things I'm okay with, and things I don't like about these Zeus series wheels. Starting off with the good, things I like. First thing is the build quality and materials. These things are solid as a rock, they're heavy, they're rigid, the leather feels nice. This one has a little bit of carbon fiber, this one has more carbon fiber, and yeah, just is very well built. The buttons have good feel to them, good weight. The paddle shifters are quiet but firm. Just really, really well built wheels and feel really nice in my hands. And of course, in the good category, the screen modularity. That's a phenomenal feature. It really is. I'm glad they included that, not only for people who might want to, depending on what they're driving, move the screen from their wheel to their wheelbase, but also for people who might not have the extra money to buy the Magic Dash at this point. If they want to just get this wheel, and then when they have a little bit of extra money to add it on, you don't need to buy a whole new wheel. I think it's phenomenal. Really well done with the Magic Dash modularity. Also, we talk about the SimHub integration. Very nice. More companies are doing that now natively. Some others not. I think it's good. We all love SimHub. We all use SimHub, and we might as well have it as a basic feature. But again, they did it right. As I was saying when I was talking about it earlier in the software portion of the video, I like that there's SimHub and SimPro. We're not dependent on a third-party software, because if for some reason SimHub shuts down or becomes a paid model, then you don't want to be involved, but you still want to use your Simagic gear. Simagic has you covered because they got the SimPro software. And speaking of the SimPro software, the SimPro software in the good category. It's really nicely done. I actually prefer it for setting up custom like LED profiles or button colors to SimHub. Actually, I think SimPro is really nicely done. You can get it set up the way you like. I've got it for my favorite GT3 cars, so the tachometer bar matches what I see on screen. It's really cool, super easy. Takes me about 5 to 10 minutes per car to get that set up, and yeah, it's a good piece of software for sure. And lastly, in the good category, talk about the price. Again, the price is all over the map depending on how you option your wheel. But the good news is even the highest price point isn't too bad. We look at their competitors. I'm not going to name names, but there's some very expensive wheels on the market at the moment. I'm not saying these are the best. I'm not saying these compete with the elite, but I'm saying it is a very, very good wheel, which I'm sure covers off what 99% of sim racers want out of a wheel for a price that's very competitive. Now, you're again talking $500, so I'm not saying it's cheap. I'm not saying everyone can afford it, but I'm just saying generally as sim racing wheels go, I think these are priced very competitively. And then in the neutral category, things I'm just kind of okay with. Whoa, sorry, Airlink. The orange. The orange is interesting. I wish they had stuck with the red. To me, red and black was Simagic. Black and orange is SimuCube. It's, again, just kind of unfortunate because SimuCube is so well known. If it was some obscure sim racing product that used orange and black, okay, no worries. But the fact that, you know, SimuCube is so well known for their orange and black, that's the way Simagic went. And even down to weaving orange into the stitching of the GT wheel, kind of unfortunate. And lastly, in the bad category, things I don't like, yeah, this needs thumb encoders. There's no way around it. Like, these are so convenient here. I really like that idea. I have a lot of wheels. Most of them have thumb encoders. On the GT, it feels like a miss. It feels like right here would have been perfect for some thumb encoders. Just roll that bad boy up or down. But yeah, unfortunately, they didn't include it. Does it make the GT wheel useless? No, absolutely not. It's still a phenomenal wheel by any measure. But yeah, thumb encoders certainly would have been nice. It's an obvious miss in my mind. And lastly, in the bad category, you knew it was coming. Airlink, yeah, it's unfortunate. You plug it in, you forget about it once it's there, and it's going to be included with when you order a Magic Dash 4 or a bundle that includes a Magic Dash 4 now. So they did the right thing, don't get me wrong. They listened to the market and started including it. But I don't love the fact that you have to use it. I wish after all this time they had been able to get it to where you don't need the Airlink. But yeah, we're kind of there now. It's unfortunate. Maybe we'll see something in future where it's not required, but for now, I have had to use the Airlink. And kind of unfortunate, but it doesn't detract from an otherwise fantastic couple of wheels here. There's the Formula as well. So you got the GT, the Sport, and the Formula, which I wasn't sent for a review, but these two that I have, just phenomenal. Really, really nice wheels. Certainly among perhaps the best I own, and I own a lot of wheels. I've been very fortunate over many years to accumulate many wheels, and these certainly among the best. The build quality, the features, the innovation with the screen, it all comes together nicely at a price that in my opinion won't break the bank. So nicely done to Simagic. High recommendation from me. Yes, there are things that are not perfect about it. Yes, the launch was a bit awkward, but at the end of the day, these are the new flagship wheels from Simagic and they were worth the wait. These did not disappoint. All right, let me know your opinion. Are you going to order these, or do you have different plans? What do you like? What do you not like about the Simagic Zeus series wheels? Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.